Welcome to the Manning Report. I am SABBATH Rachel LAFLEUR and
I am Gold VESTAL Esther Butler.
And we are here live from ATLAH, New York, formerly known as Harlem, coming to you live this morning. So we want to start off with talking about the outrage from the Jewish leaders. Now, Tribulation Trump, as he always does, made some statements regarding the two congresswomen who were not allowed to go into Israel, but then it backtracked. I'm sure, Esther, you've been following this, what's been going on. And as of recent, Tribulation Trump made some statements. You know, watching Tribulation Trump, I don't even know what to say. Why don't we just play this clip, and then Esther and I will be back to share some of our remarks.
Israel Congresswoman Ilhan Omar yesterday said that the United States should rethink its policy of aid toward Israel after she and Congresswoman Tlaib were denied entry. Congresswoman Tlaib was later allowed to come in, but she decided not to. Should there be any change in U.S. aid to Israel?
No, and you should see the horrible things that Tlaib has said about Israel. And AOC plus 3, that's what I call it. AOC, just take AOC plus 3. And you should see the things that the four of them have said about Israel over the last couple of years. I mean, Omar is a disaster for Jewish people. I can't imagine if she has any Jewish people in her district that they could possibly vote for. But what Omar has said, what Tlaib has said, I can't even believe that we're having this conversation. 5 years ago, the concept of even talking about this, even 3 years ago, of cutting off aid to Israel because of two people that hate Israel and hate Jewish people. I can't believe we're even having this conversation. Where has the Democratic Party gone? Where have they gone where they're defending these two people over the state of Israel? And I think any Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think it shows either a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty.
Now, these are the remarks by the baboon president, Tribulation Trump, and many Jewish leaders, again, are outraged as a result of the statements he has made. You know, Esther, we've been watching Tribulation Trump for some time now, listening to his rhetoric, and I find it interesting as he talks about any Jewish person that would vote for or support a Democrat will be considered disloyal. This thing about loyalty with Tribulation Trump is one-sided, and I'll hear what you have to say about it. He talks about loyalty. He wants people to be loyal to him and to him only. But he doesn't believe he needs to be loyal to them. And so you think about the mindset of a person who thinks in that manner. He wants loyalty, but he does not want to give it in return. He doesn't want to ask for forgiveness, but he's not willing to even give forgiveness to people. And so again, you think about the mental state of Tribulation Trump. It's just quite unbelievable. Esther, what do you have to say about this?
I mean, you definitely mentioned it yesterday in his strange remarks about, making sure that in a way that people continuously talk to him but not really want to give him back. And he's a very selfish man. Like he definitely has no idea what the word reciprocity means, yes, what loyalty means in general, yes, what ethics means, and just this idea that he would come out against people like he says, oh, I support like the state of Israel and the land of Israel. But these remarks in itself are anti-Semitic. Yes. Just to say that a group is disloyal because they choose not to vote for you as a Republican, if they vote for a Democrat or things like that. And just the idea that he doesn't want to defend, again, his idea of politics and how he interacts with Congress and the Senate. He has no idea how these three branches of government are supposed to work. And that's the issue.
Yes. Absolutely. We know that Tribulation Trump, he's unlearned. We know that he does not study, he doesn't read, he doesn't study himself to be approved. But you know, the other interesting thing about this, again, as I stated, is watch how quick Tribulation Trump would turn on you. You know, all of these people who support him and who are, as I stated yesterday, kissing his behind and licking his bootstraps, the minute you disagree with him in any way, shape, or form, is how quick he will turn on you, is when he will call you disloyal, is when he will call you a dog if you're of brown skin color, is when he will tell you again, if you're of brown skin color, go back to the country that you came from. And so again, we watch this man who is without a doubt mentally unfit, but even more so than this. Esther, remember when Charlottesville took place? Remember that he made statements regarding Charlottesville. And remember also that there were Japheth men walking with tiki torches making statements against the Jewish people.
Yeah.
Remember that, right?
Yeah.
So now, we just heard him make statements against these two brown-skinned congresswomen, right? But when this happened in Charlottesville, and we're going to roll that clip in a minute or so, I want you to hear what Tribulation Trump says, the so-called genius and the so-called best president that we've ever had. I want you to hear the remarks he's made. Can we roll that clip?
Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us! Jews will not replace us!
They showed up in Charlottesville
Excuse me.
to protest.
Excuse me, they didn't put
protest.
themselves down as you, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Right, exactly.
Fine people.
And you heard them chanting, Jews will not replace us. They continue to chant that. But yet, Tribulation Trump says they're very fine people on both sides. And so you look at this side where he's talking about these two brown women hate Israel, they hate Jewish people. But then you look at the other side where the Japheth men are chanting, Jews will not replace us. Do they not also hate Jews? But did Tribulation Trump dare make the same statements that he made regarding these two brown women? Of course not. What do you think, Esther?
Absolutely, of course. The simple fact is that it's not the idea that Representative Omar or Representative Tlaib or Representative Ocasio-Cortez or Representative Ayanna Pressley are talking about the Jews or talking about any other group.
Yes.
The issue is that they will not bend to what he wants them to do. The issue that he has with Representative Tlaib is that he told Israel, well, don't let those two representatives in. They shouldn't. You would be very weak. She appealed on a humanitarian, humanitarian mission, and they said, okay, come in. But Representative Tlaib said no, because I'm not going to compromise my integrity. The idea that you will not let two officers of the United States, who's supposed to be Israel's best, are their best friend, that we're supposed to be so tight, you won't let two of us come in on a diplomatic mission. But you're going to let me come in because you think, no, she's not going to bend to him.
Yeah.
And that's his issue.
Yes.
We all know Tribulation Trump has a problem with women.
Yes.
And specifically
Especially.
women of color.
Absolutely.
And then specifically
Absolutely.
Hamite women.
Absolutely.
So that's the real issue
Absolutely.
here. Like, we can talk about
Absolutely.
the politics of
Yeah.
this until we're blue in the face.
Yeah.
But the issue is that Representative Tlaib said, this is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Even though Israel has let me in, wonderful. What I'm not going to do is compromise my integrity and the integrity of the office that I serve, that I've been elected to democratically, because we all know Russia put Trump in.
That's right. That's
So
right.
the office that I have been elected to democratically, I'm not going to sacrifice the integrity of that. And Trump is shaking in his boots.
And you're absolutely right. We know that he has an issue specifically with strong, and I will say black women, as we've watched this with Maxine Waters and the names that he called her because she stood out against him. We watched how he's spoken about Omarosa, who had been with him for years, and he called her a dog. And now again, we watch two brown-skinned women who stand strong against Tribulation Trump. He certainly has an issue with black women. But I say to those of you who support Tribulation Trump again, I say to you all again, he is going to turn on you. You think that you can continue to support this man, you think that this man is going to do something for you, the minute you show any kind of disagreement with him, he will throw you under the bus. He will call you all kinds of names. Just watch what's happening with his lover, the Fox News station. You see the spat that they're having because they showed the polls showing that he had decreased in numbers. Any kind of disagreement towards this man, he will call you disloyal, he will call you unfaithful, he will not forgive you, and he will call you all sorts of names. And so that is going to happen to you Trump supporters. Just watch out.
This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.